in a second, we're going to move into the legislation around the big elephant in the room, which is the greenwashing and all its associates. But generally speaking, all of that part on positioning sustainability in your company in a way that makes sense and having a strong, solid plan on how do you communicate internally and externally, it helps you matching the sustainability standards. And it also helps us to stay out of trouble, to make sure that our company reputation, it isn't damaged by maybe false claiming or selective disclosure, which is when you basically just going to say the best part of what you're doing and you don't really address what it hasn't been gone so well. Another thing that I'd say it's one of the most common mistakes that people do is using a terminology that is incredibly vague out of wanting to be either too specific or not being able to go deeper within their claims, which is the lack of evidence. So if you are in a space where you are just starting, I'd say keep everything private until you are fully ready and committed to show the good and the bad of what you're doing within sustainability, because you want to be accurate. You want to make sure that your plans are transparent, that they are backed up with real evidence. And you want to also have a track record of all of the different audits that you've done throughout the at least beginning stage. So while it's good to say that you are addressing the issue, it's also okay for you to take a minute before you go public with it to make sure that you really have everything and you don't get your reputation, your company reputation, into trouble, both from a legal standpoint or from a brand damage standpoint. Which it takes us to the next biggest topic of the hour, which is how do we go around greenwashing? And there's not only greenwashing anymore. I think Laura and I have come up with God knows how many. We have greenwashing, greenhashing, pinkwashing, blue washing. There's a lot of washing going on. But generally speaking, the greenwashing is you probably know that already, but it's just falsing claims around a company doing something pro-planet. Very quick example is what SeaWorld has been trying to get rid of, which is a really bad reputation for the accusation it's got given for mistreating marine wildlife, while their public reputation stands of being a conservation-friendly company. So that's just the best or most horrible example of greenwashing I can give you. But looking at it from a global legislation, what is the Greenwashing Act? That's a question that I get a lot because people do expect this to be a big Bible on marketing for sustainability, and it isn't. So just to clarify, the Green Act, it is a compilation of legislation that they are taken from different parts of the world. So you might be looking at different regulations according to where you are or according to what you need to do or what you need to communicate. This has been around since 2021, so it's still relatively young. However, it did become part of the COP discussion, and it will become a bigger part of the discussion in the upcoming as well. So it's something that we need to understand, and we need to make sure that we can handle. Now, when we look at the main regulations that I usually look at, are the one that they are coming from the UK. So we have the Green Claim Codes, then you have the Green Deal, which is mainly coming from the EU. And then you have the Federal Trade Commissions, which is more US based. So I think depending on where you are in your journey, you want to go and look at what these three do and make sure that you always have a good tab on them. Usually the Green Claim and yeah, I can see that. They have a very little teeth, but to be honest with you, they are very young as well. So I feel like we need to give it a little bit of time. But usually what I do in that case, I like to kind of put together Green Claims and UE Green Deal because they are kind of feeding one off the other. Because while I find it's way more to claim for the evidence, where the other one is to understand the evidence and whether they are transparent and how far they go. So I usually put those two together. And again, this is so new that we will have to evolve and just stay tight on our seats and see where this goes on. But at least it gives us a little bit of a baseline on what is okay to say and how versus not. And also as a consumer as well, like if you're passionate about it, it helps you understanding what the good communication is versus what isn't.